What's up? I think we're live. What are we at? Wednesday, August 11th. All right. And this is earnings day for Clove. So kind of an exciting day here this morning. Close this out. Sorry. All right. So everyone who's in here, thank you for joining me this morning. Still kind of waking up. But should be an exciting day. I mean, I'm expecting fully. I'm talking about Clove now. I'm fully expecting some sort of attack, short attack or something like that to come out, similar to what we saw yesterday. I think at the end of the day, they don't want to let this stock get too high getting into earnings, and earnings are going to be reported later on this afternoon. Um, what are we looking at? Usually what happens with that is we'll see the earnings come out at, you know, um, right at the market close. We'll start seeing the news reports come out, but I think the earnings call is an hour after the market. So, you'll start seeing this information being put out, different news reports, all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden, the earnings call will come out, and that's where the company will actually go over the report, give some guidance for the future and all that. So, really exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to it this afternoon, and really excited to see what happens here today. Um, but just looking around at the markets, one thing I noticed this morning, the S&P 500, and then we'll get more into Clove, but right here at 5:30 saw a big jump up, a nice big candle, saw some extra volume coming in and moved up about $1 or so. I think that had to do with the CPI report came out this morning. That's the consumer price index. And, as soon as that got released, we saw this reaction in the market and it started pulling some other stocks up. Not so much the manipulated stocks, but some of the other stocks I'm watching, like BNGO, DraftKings, a lot of the just, I guess, regular stocks, ones that aren't being shorted to shit. Those ones, all kind of pulled up with it. So we could see a nice positive day in the market. But in regards to Clove, I mean, I'm kind of prepared for anything. I've been sitting here watching time and sales while I've been getting ready this morning, and just, we're still seeing a ton of buy pressure coming in. Volume right now is right around 300,000, and we've been checking that every day. And, basically we're looking at, I want to say, we were looking at 100,000, last week, right around this time. Then we started seeing 200,000. Actually, more so towards 620. I know I said that yesterday too. But yesterday we saw a pretty significant increase, and daily volume's been picking up. We were kind of in that 8 to 15 million range, and then we saw 25 million on Monday. I think 30 million yesterday. So I would think that would probably increase, continue to increase today. And, depending on how earnings go, I'm expecting a lot of action in after hours today and pre-market tomorrow. So that's my expectation as well, at least. And I think volume's going to, really pick up tomorrow and Friday. I fully expect, a positive beat on earnings. And some good guidance, and that's why I'm thinking that the company is deciding to speak at that, one, why they move the earnings up, two, why they're deciding to speak at that tech forum tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking at least. So expecting some good stuff there. Just looking at some other stocks. I mean, AMC finished at 31.75 yesterday, came down and hit a low this morning in pre-market of 31.15, but it's on this nice trend up right now. I did buy some calls on AMC yesterday, just kind of not expecting much out of them, but bought some calls that are expiring next Friday just because I think AMC has the opportunity to pop right now. It did have decent earnings in regards to it beat like last year's quarters and year over year growth, but last year they were in it was COVID and a lot of the theaters were shut down and all that kind of stuff. So I think, but they did have a nice positive beat expectations on earnings. So I'm thinking that at least maybe AMC might see a little bit of momentum and get its next pop. The daily charts look really good there, like it's kind of been ready for another run up. GameStop's just been kind of doing nothing. Looking around. DraftKings closed the day yesterday at 51.98. That's more of a long-term play for me. It's looking to open up around 52. I'm going to be holding that one into February. Basically, looking for some nice growth there. BlackBerry isn't a play that I'm on. It's just on my watch list because I kind of put more of the meme stocks on recently, and it looks like BlackBerry's kind of looking to open up flat. It's trading at 1040 right now. Nothing much going on there. BNGO closed yesterday at 612, trading at 616. So not a lot of action in any of the stocks that I'm watching across the board in pre-market at least. But I think it's still going to be a pretty interesting day. I'm excited about Clove. We did get up above 850 a couple times. Trading at 857 back at 4 a.m. And I think yesterday we even touched above 850. And 850 is that strike price that we really want to get above, right? I mean, that's where calls start outweighing puts, and that kind of puts us in position to keep moving forward. The option chain I keep talking about, and it's been loaded for weeks now. Every week it's loaded up. More specifically because of the August 20th date. That's where a lot of the concentration's at. But in general, that August 20th chain is there. The November chain is there. There's a lot of options that have been being bought at all these dates, and it gives us, really gives us the opportunity to see some explosive movement. Not only that, you couple it in with the fact that we've got this high short interest in the stock. 20%, I think is what Ortex is reporting right now, isn't anywhere near what we've been seeing. 21%. We are seeing an increase reported by Ortex right now today, but Ortex is going off the data they're given, and they're getting data from multiple sources, and they're kind of at the mercy of them. I'm kind of, anyone who's been watching, I haven't really been pulling up Ortex and iBorrow too much anymore because the data doesn't line up. I mean, we saw what short interest has kind of been reported somewhere around this 20% range for almost a month now, but we saw 19 million failures to deliver. And, if those 19 million shares were actually, reported as legitimately borrowed, we would be seeing the shares on loan closer to around for the $50 million or 50 million mark where we were at in June when short interest was much higher. So I'm not putting a lot of stock into what we're seeing on Ortex and iBorrow desk, but I do like to keep an eye on it just to see what's going on. It looks like iBorrow desk this morning is showing 1.3 million were available yesterday, and now 650,000 today. So running out of shares there, but that's only through Interactive Brokers. Let's see here. I'm just going to take a look at the chat real quick, and then we'll get back into some other stuff. Let's see. Joseph's in here. What's up, Joseph? Good morning. Thomas, Invisible World, what's up? Heads up, guys. Earnings will be at 5 p.m. Yep. So that's if you're on the West Coast, it's 2 o'clock. But basically, it's going to be an hour after the market. But like I said, we'll probably see earnings reports getting dropped as soon as the market closes. Usually, like right at 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 o'clock on the West Coast. You'll start seeing those actual news feeds coming in. On my TD Ameritrade account, it comes in like 5 different reports. They'll just start doing a data dump, but the earnings call will be at 5. And I'm gonna actually be jumping on Tar Heel stream somewhere around there, so I know I'm getting on during my lunch today because he's going all day. I think he already started this morning too, but he's going like all day long. So I might actually end this stream a little early just so we can jump on and watch him probably in about an hour here, and just kind of support him because that guy's going to be going, like I said, all day. He's got different guests lined up all day. I think he's crazy because he got permission to stream the actual earnings call, which I think will be kind of fun too. So I'll be watching that as much as I can. And then once the market closes and I get off work later on this afternoon, I think I'm going to hop back on with them one more time if we don't end up getting on Discord. So kind of an action-packed day. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it, even though I'll be at work and all that kind of stuff. But let's see. So Thomas is in here too. 6'8" spin drift. Good morning, Zeke. Scotty, what's up? Good morning, Scotty. Who else? Lisa, what's up? Good morning. Co-creators in the house. What's up, co-creator? Nice to see you in here. Dennis D. Who else? We got Low Works in the house. Ecom, the day has come. Zev 1250 calls, get them when it goes back into 10. Let me check. Let me pull up Zev real quick. I know Zev has been started ripping yesterday. And okay, so Ecom, you're saying when we drop back to $10, grab some 1250 calls. I'm down. I'm always looking for some new plays. I know Zev just did a partnership or a buyout, and I mean, I know some people were holding this at $6, and I mean, a double up like that. I'm happy for you. Let's see. Ecatab. Who else woke up in the middle of the night and started thinking about Clove earnings? Yeah, nah, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm excited. But I'm also trying to like temper my expectations too. I mean, and usually when I do that, I'm pleasantly surprised. But I think no matter what happens on earnings, right at 4 o'clock, when that data dump happens and the reports start coming out, we're gonna see a knee jerk reaction, probably a short attack. So regardless, let's say the stock's trading at 9 at the end of the day, we're gonna see a really quick drop down to 850. That's what I'm expecting at least. If we're trading at 850 where we're at right now, I think we'll see this thing get tested back down to 8, just on like a 5-minute candle or something. And I know I've talked about it before, but you see this happen on a lot of stocks, even like blue chip stocks and everything else. Right when the data dump comes in, the stock, either you'll see institutional investors kind of like pull the rug a little bit, they're trying to scare retail out, and then they'll come back in and buy the stock for cheaper. But with Clove specifically, I think this stock's going to be attacked. Now, I'm saying that's my expectations because I always like to set the bar a little low. But regardless of what happens, I think this stock's going to rally back almost immediately because a lot of the negativity for this stock and undue FUD and all that has already been priced in. I mean, we're highly manipulated. We're trading at a very low range right now. And, this stock should be trading a lot higher. We've been seeing nothing but institutional buy-ins coming in on this stock for the last month, it feels like. And I don't think they could drive it much lower. So even if they are able to knock it down 50 cents, I'm expecting earnings to absolutely, beat estimates, beat analysis estimates. I think the guidance that they give on the earnings call is going to be nothing but positive and show the growth and expansion that we already kind of got a sneak peek of yesterday when they were talking about them being able to integrate into almost any cloud system and any electronic health record system. So basically, the company's looking to roll out Clover Assistant into other health providers, and I think that's really what the beauty of Clove is going to end up being. And the long term play for the company isn't going to be necessarily about health insurance, even though they'll probably always have that health insurance. My speculation is it's all about this AI, and it's all about getting this AI rolled out throughout the entire healthcare community. So, I'm really excited to hear about that. I think we're going to see a lot of buy-in coming in after the earnings call. I think after hours is going to be wild. I think pre-market tomorrow is going to be wild. And then they're speaking at a tech forum tomorrow too, where maybe they'll unveil some new information. Maybe they'll just be going over what we already get a chance to hear on the earnings call. But all exciting stuff. Um, but I'm ready for anything. Tim, good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah. Carmen, good morning. Michael's in the house. Born Journal. Michael, what's up? Levi, good morning. Today's gonna be fun either way. Yeah, I hear you. Michael P. Seems like there's something in the earnings call that will also be presented in more detail at KeyBank. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Is they're gonna have, maybe it'll be more of a reveal about the Clover AI. Maybe it'll be some more details about this expansion into Florida. Maybe some plans for the future. There's also like the Clover, I think, therapeutic side too that no one's really been talking about. Maybe we'll hear something about that. So, I mean, there's just so much stuff that could come either through guidance on the earnings call, the tech forum tomorrow. I would expect to hear a lot. Um, and then there's also the whole CFO thing. I mean, who knows with that? Maybe we get an announcement today about who the new CFO is going to be. Um, all that stuff is going to be positive and bullish in my expectations. Genetic Nate, what's up? DJ Tardis, what's up? The boss. It's WGW again. Michael says, Coach, can you please explain the utilization rate in the 90 percentile and why that number is useful? Yeah, so basically, utilization, whenever utilization is high, we're looking at, and this is just for anyone who's wondering, we're looking at Ortex right now, and you got this utilization rate sitting at 91.89. So basically, what that's doing is taking what they know of as the shares that are available to short, right? Like how iBorrowdesk takes, iBorrowdesk is tracking only interactive brokers available shares. So now put that into a percentage rate, right? So if there's, I'm just going to throw out a random number. Let's say there's 100 million shares to short. I know that there's not, but 100's an easy word or easy number to use. So if there's 100 million shares of a stock available to short and 91 million of them are being actually borrowed and utilized, that's your utilization rate. That's saying that 91% of the shares that are available to short are actually being borrowed right now. That's your utilization. So, um, when you see that utilization rate get up there to like 99, which we've seen before, that means there's like no shares available at that point, right? So now any new like downward, violent downward pressure or anything you can assume is probably naked shorting. Now, also keep in mind that these numbers aren't entirely accurate, right? So Ortex is only reporting off of data that they have access to. iBorrowdesk is only reporting off of Interactive Brokers data, and there's other brokers that are out there that may still have shares available to lend and are charging different cost to borrow fees and all that kind of stuff. So just something to keep in mind. I mean, we're not seeing the full picture on any of this stuff, but you know, it's what we have at our disposal. Let's see. Joseph, what's up? I had a dream we went to 68 after earnings, then down to 21. In reality, I'm very much expecting an ungodly short attack tonight and tomorrow morning. I'm ready in all cases. Yeah, same thing with me, Joseph. Same exact thing. Skip, what's up? Good morning. Jason, good morning. What's up? Eric's in the house. What's up? Let's see who else we got in here. Michael says Carve ran 13 to 19 in the last 2 days. Now, I didn't get a chance to check that out. To be honest, I've been busy as hell this week. So like my kids are they're not starting school yet. They start school in 2 weeks, but my school went back this week. So Monday and Tuesday were like teacher only days. So I had to get back to work, set up my classroom, do all that kind of stuff, and then today's the first day students will be back at school too. So, yeah, I've just been busy. I haven't really been paying attention to much other than the stocks that I'm already in. But I think once I get settled in at school, and especially once my kids get back to school, because right now I gotta like drop them off on my way into work and all that kind of stuff, and so it's a little bit different. But I'm sure I'm gonna end up kind of getting settled in, getting into my routine. I've been teaching from home for a year and a half now. So, a lot of changes this week, but once I get the routine down, I'll get back into it and kind of find my time to do research into new stocks and what's hot and all that kind of stuff. Um, More than likely, I'd say in the next week or so, I'll really be settled in. Just looking, DraftKings is really starting to rip right now. It's just on an upward trend. Kind of following the SPY. BlackBerry's doing the same thing. Um, Looks like AMC's taking a nice bounce off VWAP. So we're starting to see a lot of stocks trend upwards. Um, at least the ones that I'm looking at. Even Zoom isn't getting a lot of volume, but it's up $6 off yesterday's close. So um, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day in the markets. Let's see here. If we don't see the moon today, don't be disappointed. Still happen, but be patient. Yeah, I'm not even expecting us to see like, insane price action today because I think there's still going to be a little bit of like investor, let's see what happens with the earnings. Now, I could see it really kick off in after hours where all of a sudden, you know, shit just gets wild in after hours and taking off. I could see that happening for sure. After the earnings come out, because, I think most investors who've been watching this stock see that we've bottomed out at $8. See that, getting in at 850 is the floor. So even if earnings were like worse than expected, I still don't see this stock falling below 8. I mean, they've got enough cash on hand to last them, I think, the next 2 years. So if the losses are maybe greater than expected, which I don't expect, but if that happens, I still don't think that they're going to be able to hammer the stock down too much. I mean, you saw institutions willing to come in and buy pre-earnings, but if that was to happen, I don't think we'll see as much retail jumping in and whales and kind of like people who are going to wait. But I think a lot of people might be waiting to see what the earnings report says. And I think after hours could have the potential to maybe see us get a nice gap up. And, that's how we kicked off the gamma squeeze last time, was with a nice gap up. And so that's something that I am looking forward to for tomorrow. Louis, what's up? Let's see who else is in here. Chris says, watching and holding from North Ireland. Great channel. Right on, man. I appreciate the support. It's always a trip to me to see people coming in from other countries too. I don't know why. I think part of it is just because I never really expected to be doing this live stream stuff anyways. I'm not going to bore you guys with my story over and over again, but I mean, I turned on this when I first did this channel. It was just kind of a way to communicate with me and like a handful of friends that were always texting about stocks, and then it turned into a live stream, and then it turned into having over 1,000 subscribers, and just it's very humbling to see people coming in from all these different countries. I know Target Short Sellers is here in Belgium. We got people in the UK, Canada for sure, really just all over the place, and it's really amazing to kind of see that this community is not just all over the United States, with me being on the West Coast and a lot of you guys on the East Coast, but also all over the world. Really cool to see. So thank you, Chris, for coming in. Justin saying, what's up? Good morning, Justin. Hoping new investors still roll in and put besides the manipulation. Yeah, well, I think the manipulation also draws in investors too, right? So as people learn about how manipulated this stock is, the 19 million FTDs, all that other kind of stuff, it kind of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives it that potential for the big pop, the big squeeze, the big gamma squeeze. Like, I mean, you can get into Clove right now at 850, and I think be totally solid, confident that this is a great investment. The stock's worth way more than you're getting into. But that would be more of an investment, a long-term strategy, right? But then at the same time, you're going to get a lot of people that'll come in because, yeah, I got this long-term investment, but it has this pop potential. It's got this potential to gamma squeeze next week or this week or next month. It's got a potential to short squeeze, so we have both, kind of all three going for us, and it really makes it I think all of that put together makes this one of the best plays on the market right now. And I know I'm biased because I'm in on it, but that's why I'm in on it, right? Soft Bunnies, what's up? Where you Good morning, Coach. Good morning. Yeah, Soft Bunnies, thank you for joining. It's Gingivitis says Shamath is releasing an OnlyFans. I didn't hear about that. Um, let's see. Shrimply, good morning. Clovis Frank, could you explain short ladder attacks? Are they real? Do they work? Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people will give you flack on that, like when you short ladder attacks don't exist and all this other kind of stuff. But basically, what a short ladder attack is, think like high frequency trading. A lot of these people use, um, you know, computers and algorithms and stuff to trade. And so when you could trade with that kind of stuff, you can kind of beat the market and beat retail in and out of trades. And so I guess the theory behind a short ladder attack is basically, um, let's just take Clove for example. We're trading at 848 right now. I grab 10,000 shares, and Clovis Frank, you have your own algorithm and high frequency trading system. And basically, I'm going to sell you those 10,000 shares for 847. Now you're going to take those shares at 847 and trade them back to me for 846. Then I'm going to sell them back to you for 845. Then you're going to sell them back to me for 844. And we're just trading these back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to each other. And yeah, we're losing a penny every time, but we don't really care about those pennies we're losing, because at the same time, while we're trading that 10,000 shares back and forth, we might have a million shares in short position. So we're making a lot more as this is dropping. It's not, we don't care about the short term on this 10,000, but we're able to drive the price of the stock down. Now, obviously, that's a lot harder when there's a ton of volume coming in and buying pressure coming in, because now it doesn't guarantee that they can, trade those back and forth to each other, but basically the way that would work is through limit buy orders. Like if I come in with a limit buy at 847, and then they use fractional shares too. So like to make sure they beat you out. So looking at the level 2 order book right now, it looks like there's buy orders for $8.45. Well, if I come in and say I'm willing to buy for $8.45, like add on that third decimal point, now I have the highest bid. And so if you're sitting on the other end and you do a market sell, that's going to fill to me. Now I got it. Now your, HFT, high frequency trading system, is going to come in and do the same thing and go for a fraction above what the nearest bid. But this is all happening within like milliseconds. And that's basically like what a short ladder attack is. I believe they're absolutely real. And I think they work, but I think when you have high volume, it makes it a lot harder, right? Because now you have other buy orders, other people with high frequency trading systems, other people with their own algorithms and stuff working against those, what they're trying to accomplish. Um, all right, let's see. Rabbit Yotes in the house. Chef Daddy, what's up? Good morning. I know I'm way behind in the chat too. Sorry guys. Let me try to catch up. Any chance Green Oaks makes their shares available to short? I mean, technically they could, right? I mean, I don't see why. Most institutions who own shares, that's what they do. That's how they make money. If you're in for the long term, I'm already holding these shares. I know I'm going to hold them for the next 3 years. How can I make some money in the meantime? I could lend them out to short sellers and charge them a cost to borrow fee. But Green Oaks, on the other hand, like their mission and their reason for being in Clove, and that they have such a huge position in Clove, to me, I don't really see them doing it, because this isn't just like your average everyday investment. That's my take on Green Oaks. I think Green Oaks is in this because they believe in what the company can do, and they're in for the long haul, and they really want to see this company thrive. And but that being said, and I know I've said this before too, a lot of times like the company, like the stock price doesn't really affect the company right now, right? Whether we're trading at $8.40 or trading at $13 doesn't really affect the company at all, unless they need to go out and raise capital. And we already know with Clove, they don't need to raise capital. That's why they did the cashless redemption for the warrants. They've already got enough cash on hand to last them 2 years. So, if we're trading at 840 for the next year, it doesn't really mean anything to the company. Now, at some point when they need to raise capital, yeah, they're going to want to see this share price as high as possible. But right now, the company doesn't need to. And I guess I know I'm getting off topic now, but with Green Oaks specifically, um, if they're really in this for like the next 5 to 10 years, they probably don't really care too much about what the share price is at either, because they know that one day this is going to be a triple digit stock and they're in for the long haul. So they could be lending shares out, but I don't really think they are. Citi is lending a lot of shares at 1 million. Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. These institutions come in and it's like, they set this up. They see that this is a buy and they're saying, okay, we're gonna come in and buy Clove right now at $8. Our long term forecast for this stock is whatever, $80 within 2 years or fuck 5 years, whatever it may be. That's a 10 times growth. But now in the meantime, they're just going to lend those shares out and make that cost of a borrow fee, because these short attacks and stuff don't really affect the stock long term, right? Like they're shorts are going to try to make money on the way down, and they're going to cover at some point. And at some point, the company's going to organically grow and force shorts out on its own. And so a lot of these institutional investors, they're just going to try to profit off it as much as they can in the meantime. And if that's getting that little cost to borrow fee, that's still money, and they're doing that with thousands of stocks or hundreds of stocks that they own, and that's how they're profiting in the short term. Either that or through writing call contracts and put contracts and through option strategies. SMJ, what's up? Let's see here. I'm going to try to catch up. Michael saying smash the like button. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. D, what's up? It says how we're looking right now. I know I'm late on this, but we're oversold right now. We're getting hits. We're getting slammed hard right off the open. Let's see here. I'm just going to look at the SPY real quick. SPY did gap up a little bit. Not much going on though, but even DraftKings, after gapping up, it got slammed down right here at the open. Looks like everything kind of is. Clove's getting hit pretty hard though. We're down 1.7%, and continuing to go downwards. Looking at level 2, looks like we do have a little bit of support at 814. And quite a bit of resistance was right there at 827, but we just ate through that. So I spoke too soon. Let's see here. Try to catch up a little bit still. Mike, what's up? Good morning. Co-creator says, what is a good RSI? So relative strength index, and basically RSI is showing us, I mean, it all depends on what you're looking at too. Like right now we're looking at a 5-minute candle, but anything below 30 is basically saying there's way too much selling going on this stock. And sometimes that could kind of indicate to you that we're going to look for a bounce, right? Like there's that, and usually that's indicative of short selling too, right? Like they're just hammering the stock down and they're getting to a point where this thing's way oversold. Now, when you get into the other direction, anything above 70 is kind of like way overbought, and then you could kind of see a pullback coming off that. But typically, for a stock that's just kind of trading normal and stuff, I mean, anything above 50 is bullish, below 50 is bearish. But you could see these things pop around a lot. Like this is going back to 525 this morning. We were trading at 45. 10 minutes later, we were at 57. 10 minutes after that, we were at 49. So, but when a stock is just like organically kind of stair stepping up, usually you'll see it trading above 50, because that's like more of a bullish sentiment. There's more buying coming in than selling. But once you get into these like below 30, above 70 range, because your RSI goes from 0 to 100, that's when you'll start to see, oversold, overbought, and you could usually expect some sort of pullback. Joseph says, Ultimate Team Player here, got Coach on my TV and THB on my laptop. That's awesome. That's awesome. And like I said, I'm probably going to sign off here today at 7. So in about 25 minutes, just so that, I want to go support Tar Heel too. I mean, he's going all day. We didn't really get the chance to talk about it. I, he already had booked somebody, but I was thinking about it last night. Like we could have just did this stream on his show, and because I want to. I mean, this guy's he's gonna be a machine today. I can't believe he's doing that. That's like what, almost 10 hours or 8 hours straight. Uh, but yeah, no, that's awesome, and I'll be supporting him as well on my drive to work, and just on my breaks today throughout the day, just to check in and see how it's going. Um, Chef Daddy says the success of your stream is only due to your humble, honest knowledge. There's a reason we all love hanging with you. Right on, man. I appreciate it. Um, and I mean, I try not to hype up the stock too much and be like one of those people that's just, oh yeah, jump on this now. And sometimes I get carried away and I get excited, and it's just, like, yeah, I see the potential here for a gamma squeeze, or I see this, but what I'm really starting to learn is really try to like explain that, like, when I talk about these things, there's still a ton of risk involved. These are still, long shot type things, and but and Chef Daddy, you've been on here long enough to know, like, if I don't know the answer to something, I'll straight up say it. I don't know. I'll look it up though. I love to read and I love to learn, and that's why I like doing this so much, is because I'm learning stuff every day too. From you guys, and just from doing my own research. From someone asks a question I don't know the answer to, I'm gonna look it up. Big C, what's up? Let's see here. Thomas says, "Here comes the attacks." I know I'm hella behind too. You probably said that 5 minutes ago. Uh, Soft bunnies. Hey, coach. Question. You know how Ortex only gives us so much of the picture? Why hasn't someone come out with another tool provider like them that would give us more of the picture? So there is Bloomberg. Bloomberg Terminal is by far, from what I've heard, the best data set available, like out there. Kind of the most encompassing, and it costs $2,000 a month. So, I mean, I've always said jokingly, but I never even thought that I would have this many subscribers and be able to monetize my channel. But if I get to the point where I'm making $2,000 a month off this channel, you better believe I'm going to have a Bloomberg terminal up, and I'm going to be pulling it up so you guys can all look at it. Because at the end of the day, that's just something that's going to make us successful, right? Like, I want to take the money from this channel and put it back into the channel. So, because really I'm banking off making money off my investments, right? I mean, we're just doing this for fun. We can all hang out in here and talk shit and just kind of hang out with each other. But yeah, Bloomberg's the way to go. From what I've heard, I've never messed around with one. I've seen screenshots. I've seen other people post screenshots on here and on Reddit and everywhere else. But yeah, eventually that's something that I definitely want to look into. And even if I'm not making money off this channel, I mean, after Clove pops and I'm able to take some profits off there, if I'm cashing out enough to which I should be, I might just pay off the next 10 years of a Bloomberg terminal and have it set it and forget it. All right, let's see. Chef Daddy says hell late in the chat. Oh man. Let me catch up. Board, what's up? RSI's insanely low. We're starting to pop off it too. That's how I know I'm hella late. Ecom. Scoop Zev 1250 calls for Friday. Flip in today. Yeah. Zev, Ecom called it, said when we get down to this 1050 range, grab them. I just don't have the dry powder to do it. Michael, wonder if THB has those adult diapers on today. If so, that's commitment. Oh man. Fiverr has sellers that will pull Bloomberg terminal data for like $5 per company. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get one though. I will. Chef Daddy, coach, do a Patreon for $1 or $2 a month and you have your Bloomberg terminal. I know I'd pay it. Yeah, I don't know how all that stuff works. I mean, it's all still new to me. I know I have like the super chat or whatever it's called, that super sticker thing, only because like SRT and a couple other people have sent some on there before. So I know that's a way that like people could send money, but I don't really like asking for money either. Like I always say, I'm doing this for fun, right? And I am having fun doing it. That being said, I mean, if organically this channel grows to the point where YouTube's paying me, um, and I'm making the money, cool. But I also feel, I don't want you guys coming out of pocket either. But there is the ability to do that super chat, super sticker thing, which I don't really know how it works. I know I've got some on here. JF has sent one before, and Fluffer. I think I've got a couple on here. And I saw Tar Heel was getting some yesterday because he just monetized his channel, so he's got his channel set up for it already. But yeah, the other thing, I mean, I was talking to Tar Heel about this yesterday too. I think he's gonna put out like a little e-commerce type store or something like that. We were talking about that yesterday, and I was kind of telling him the same thing. Like before I do a Patreon or like YouTube does the membership thing, which I was looking into, where like people could pay $1 a month or whatever to be a member, and that helps support the channel too. But I was just like, man, I'd almost rather do like a store, because I'd feel so much better if like people were buying a t-shirt and getting something out of it, as opposed to just sending me money. It feels weird. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. But anyways, I mean, it'll happen at some point. But yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, shit, if everybody wanted to throw in $2, I'd absolutely. I mean, I have over 1,000 subscribers, and if that got me access to a Bloomberg terminal, and we all kind of pulled the money together and paid for it, I mean, I'd be pulling it up on here and streaming it every day too, and probably putting out some way more informative videos. So we'll figure it out. I think I'm caught up in the chat too right now. So um, let's see. So it looks like Clove, we hit a bottom of 820, bounced off that oversold on the RSI. Still trading pretty low though, 32 on the RSI right now. Um, and right now we're looking to kind of get back in there and test VWAP. If I pull up the 1 minute, let me see. Oh, what did I do? I did 15 minute. Yeah, so we were way oversold on the 1 minute, and just got a MACD crossover a minute ago. So looks like maybe the trend is starting to go bullish. We could see how that plays out. Um, usually it all works in flows, right? So like the 1 minute is going to be more indicative of what you're going to see in the next couple 5 minute candles. The 5 minutes going to show you maybe what you can expect to see coming on, like, in the next half hour to an hour. And then you look at, so seeing a bullish crossover on the MACD on the 1 minute tells me that we're probably going to see one coming on the 5 minute if this keeps up at some point, and then that'll eventually flow into the, hopefully a longer time frame. But we can keep the 1 minute up here and kind of keep an eye on that right now. Let's see here. Chef Daddy says that's cool, but as a community, if I can get access for a Bloomberg for $1 or $2 a month, that's a win. Nah, that's cool. I feel that too. So maybe I will set something like that up. Well, the other thing, let me ask you guys, just because I mean we're just talking. Or I guess I'm talking, you're typing, but either way, so YouTube has this thing, because I was just looking through it. I've never even spent the time looking through like what happens once you kind of get like the community tab and all that stuff. They also have like a channel membership thing where you could set up like where a certain dollar amount a month and it just gets taken out to like support the channel. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Or I know Patreon is something different, where I guess it's kind of like the way I've always thought of it, and I don't know because I've never used it. It's like Venmo almost, like someone could just choose to like, hey, I'll send this or something, or I don't know. Maybe we could even talk offline and figure out what would be the best way. But I'd absolutely do it. Let's see here. Justin says, how will we ever go up if they route all the orders through the dark pool? Yeah, if you're watching this time in sales, I mean, you see a lot of the green. Those are buy orders, ones that are going up to hit the next limit bid. And they're all coming in. Most of them are coming in on D, which is the symbol for, I think, ATS. Here we got some NASDAQs. But yeah, when you see these Ds, That's a alternative trading system, which is basically like it's getting routed through some sort of, off exchange type pool, whether that be a dark pool or just a regular ECN. But yeah, they can't do it forever. And the reason I say that, and I really mean this, is, at some point, right, there has to be someone willing to sell on the other end. If there's not, that means the market maker's taking on a naked short position, which means he then has to come in and buy those shares in the open market at some point. Like, he can only sell so many fictitious shares until, eventually it's going to be a failure to deliver. And so it puts it off a little, but they still have to end up going and buying those shares. Unless there's already a seller there, right? But really, when's there going to be a seller in the dark pool? That's going to be like when an institution or someone like that is willing to kind of get rid of shares. And I don't think we're seeing that right now before earnings, but it's pretty blatantly obvious what's happening. We're seeing buy orders come in. Like, again, there's two greens, and they're coming in on D, which is an ATS. But then we're seeing a bunch of reds coming through, and they're coming through on all these different exchanges. So it almost seems as though buy orders are being routed into the dark pool, sell orders are being routed out. Um, and if anyone is interested, wants to know what these other things are, I could pull it up real quick. But every single letter that I have sitting there is for a different exchange. So, and I'll just pull this up just so you guys can see it. Even though you might not be able to follow, it's hard to follow along with time and sales. But this is the TD Ameritrade exchange code. So when you see like a D, like I said, that's an ECN best. So that could be any dark pool or ATS. We see some C's there. That's the Cincinnati exchange. V is OTC other. So that I'm assuming is going to be another like dark pool type thing. Q I know is Nasdaq. Where's Q? Yeah, Nasdaq. J, EDGA. So that's just there's all these different exchanges, right? And so you can actually track which exchange buys and sells are coming into. And all this means, I mean, every time you see a red or a green, that just means where the market's going, right? So because obviously there's a buyer and seller on every side of the transaction, but when you see green, that means people are actually coming in and saying, I'll take it. They're coming in with market orders, and that's should be moving us up to the next limit order on the ask side. And so that would move the price up. When you see red, that means someone's coming in with the market sell. That's what moves the market. Limit orders kind of set the market. Seeing a lot of P's here too, and P is PSE. I'll have to look that up later. All right, I'm way behind now. Hey coach, my 900 Clove warrants got converted to 224 Clove. That's a 24:9 conversion ratio, not the 0.361 they quoted in the press release. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, Andre. I am not up on warrants. I've never bought them. I don't know much about them. But Pablo, let me see. That's a great question, and I'll even hit Pablo up and maybe ask him to go over that. But Pablo's gonna be on Tar Heel Blue today at. Oh, maybe Pablo's not gonna be on there. Looks like he says he's got Ghost on right now. Foresight Capital at 11 a.m. Jasifu at 12. Degenerate at 1. Mac Bracken at 2. Outrades, or I'm off. Maybe Pablo. Oh, no. Pablo's going to be on there later on this afternoon. So Pablo will be on there at right at market close. So Pablo's the warrant guy. He understands that stuff a lot more than I do. So I'll even text Pablo after this stream and maybe ask him to cover that if you want to tune into Tar Heel Blue later on, right at market close, and he could probably explain why. But I think it had something to do with the price, the stock price, right? So if the stock was trading at a certain amount, you're basically getting what the stock would be worth, what the warrant would be worth in stocks, and that's my understanding of it. But I've never traded warrants. Ago, what's up? Good morning. SMJ said, has the FUD started? Um, I haven't seen the news ticker on Clove, so I'm not even sure. Benjamin says Bloomberg won't allow you to live stream publicly. They'll pull your okay. I'm wondering, even if I can't live stream, can I do screenshots? I'll have to check that out. I'll look into that. YouTubers use Azure tech data now. Ooh, I'm gonna write that one down. I'll look that one up too. I was looking. It's funny that we're having this conversation because this morning I was actually looking into Bloomberg Terminal and alternatives to Bloomberg, and I did find some other ones. But I really want to do some research before actually purchasing because there are some cheaper options out there. But I don't want to purchase something that's going to give me the same shit that Ortex gives. Right? I want something that's going to give me more, and I'll even cancel my Ortex subscription if that's the case. If I can get into something else that'll give me more of a broader scope. So I'll check out this Azure one too. Thank you for that, Soft Bunnies. What's up? Let's see, Chef Daddy. Chef Daddy says, not sure the difference between Patreon and YouTube member, but you're right, there is a difference. Dutch did the member, he may know. I'll hit up Dutch too. I haven't talked to him in a while. I feel like we were talking well before before I know he got COVID and he kind of took a break from making videos for a while and stuff. And at the time we were talking about kind of getting him to come on and check out maybe come on this stream and start doing some stuff together. But we haven't talked in a while now. So let's see. Florida says, can see Coach B as the Joe Rogan of Pop Warner play-by-plays. Oh man, that would be funny. Soft Bunny says we need that Bloomberg. Big C's got an answer for Andre. Let's see. It's supposed to be 249 because the price was so low. 361 if the price were over 18. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It had something to do with the stock price and how it would convert over. But my understanding of that even then is that it was going to be like a dollar for dollar thing, right? So like basically the stock price and the warrant price were going to kind of equal out the same. If you owned a certain amount of dollars in warrants, you were going to get that same certain amount of dollars in shares or pretty close to it. Was my understanding at least. Let's see here. Just want to take a look around. So DraftKings up 1%, 5260. Not a lot going on there. What else do we got up here? The SPY still up on the day about a buck. AVXL hit a bottom of 1770. Man, I really thought AVXL was going to get ready for a turnaround. I mean, I've got more long term position in that, but I also did buy some calls that are expiring next week that are just done. This was months ago, or maybe last month or the month before. I thought AVXL was ready to keep ripping, and I was wrong. Same thing with BNGO. I mean, nothing but good news in these two companies, and I know BNGO should have a better like Q4. I think they're rolling out their new Sapphire system, so it may take a little bit longer with that one. But AVXL I think might have phase 2 or phase 3 data coming up here. So those are two stocks I'm just kind of holding and waiting on, but I really thought they'd get moving a little bit faster. Kind of disappointed in those two right now, but got faith. Looking around, GameStop isn't doing much. Kind of this weird choppy chart. I feel like I should almost take it off. Let me see if a 1 minute looks better. Yeah, that's easier to look at. AMC not doing much either. AMC was up huge yesterday in pre-market, and then absolutely got slammed down, like Clove did, like GameStop did. Everything just had a shit day. But I would have thought AMC would have bounced back off that. I mean, they usually seem like they've got the retail behind it. Lisa said Soldier, AVXL, and BNGO yesterday. Shit, that was a good play because they're both down today. I'm just waiting. Like for me, BNGO, I'm waiting for it to, get back up and test that all-time high. And when it does, if it hits 15 and comes down, I'll sell at like 14 and wait to see it break past 15 before jumping back in. Or if it just rips through 15, then I'll hold and kind of see how high it can go and try to scale out. AVXL I really see as like, a game changer in with their, because they're basically looking for, cures in dementia, Tourette's, Alzheimer's, things like that. And they've been pretty successful. I know there's other pharmaceutical companies in the same, field and everything, but they've been having some pretty significant results. And so I think, like, I'm just waiting. That's one that I'm waiting on, like, that news to come out, and then it's going to be one of those things where it's like, yeah, remember we were talking about AVXL back at $15, and it's trading at like 150 or 200. But with all these pharmaceutical plays, um, you play like three or four of them, one hits, and you make out huge, and the other three, all it takes is one bad test results or trial study, and all of a sudden you lose on the other three. So definitely more like your lotto ticket style plays. Let's see here, what time we got to. So we are getting close to 7. I'm gonna Lisa said, nah, I don't want to. I don't want. I don't want you to come on here one day like, damn it, coach, you told me to get back in BNGO and it's at 4. But I really do have um, I really do have a lot of faith in a friend of mine, Colin. I know I've talked about him a lot on here. He stays up on a lot of that stuff, and especially like in that Alzheimer's and dementia kind of sector, like those companies, Sava, CRTX, I think, is one that's been going, and he stays on top of all that. I mean, he's looking at their um, all their press releases and everything, and he turned me on to BNGO the first time around, and I don't know, he seems to really know what's going on in there, and so I trust him, and that's what got me into those two. Um, but I mean, there's so many other companies out there too that I got to be honest, I don't know enough about. Like, I can't sit here and tell you why I think AVXL is better than Sava or anything else, other than it's got a better entry point. um, let's see. Lisa says, I track vaccine makers. I hit with Moderna. Yeah, damn. And I've been kind of watching that, um, ever since you were talking about, like, should I sell, should I buy more type of thing, and that thing was just ripping. I think it went down a little bit the other day, but that's glad to hear that you're making some money. I really am. um and then co-creator, I know, just said SDC and ACY are big movers today. Let me check that out. SDC up 5% right now, and ACY, yeah, up 21%. Hopefully you're making some more cash, co-creator, because I know you're just going to turn around and buy some more Clove with it. Gumby says, do you think biohacking companies are a buy? I don't know much about them. I really don't. I can't even sit here and try to act like I do. I don't know anything about them. Nah, co-creator, I seen it. I was kind of at the SDC and ACY, and then I saw that I guess it was you and Lisa going back and forth. So I just kind of, oh shit, I didn't see that one. Co-creator said he's out of dry powder. So you didn't play, I thought it was just you and Lisa going back and forth. So I was trying to catch up, but, so damn. So I was thinking co-creator was going to make some cash to throw in Clove. Um, let's see. And Scotty says that Clove is getting pounded right now. Let's see. Mike, just wondering if you think people are hanging back to see what earnings actually are, assuming it's good. Where do you see it tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a lot of buy pressure again coming in today. It's still, I mean, that buy pressure is holding us up. I mean, otherwise these shorts would have us down below 8 right now, which I think is where they want us, right? I'll check the max pain real quick, but I'm pretty sure that let's see. Yeah, Max Payne's 850, so they want to kind of keep us right below 850, which they're succeeding at. But yeah, I think there might be a lot of people waiting behind and kind of let's see what happens with earnings. Um, Assuming earnings are good, I think we're going to see the stock start moving in after hours today. Um, so Lisa, if you're not seeing all the comments, co-creator actually taught me this. What you want to do is switch your thing to live chat. If you're on an iPhone, like if you're watching it on a phone, I know you go to filters and it always defaults to top chat, but you switch it to live chat and that'll get you to where you could do it. And sometimes I forget and it sucks because then it's like I'm commenting on comments that happened, 2 hours ago. I like to look at it in order and make sure I'm up to date so it feels more like we're having a conversation. I know you watch Tar Heels sometimes, and I know, I always give him shit, and so does co-creator because he's always on top chat, so he'll be responding to stuff. It's different when you're watching, right? Like, so when I'm watching him, all of a sudden, I'm all up to date in the chat, and I'm talking with you guys in the chat, and then he'll start commenting on something that someone said in the chat 45 minutes ago. So that's the difference. You got to put it on live chat. Let's see. A co-creator said I did that last time with ACAY. Thanks to Lisa, made profit, bought more Clove. Yeah, I wish I had some dry powder too, because I know we got that call here to kind of jump in here on Zev, and I would have did that too, but yeah, ACY is running. Low Work says I'm convinced they're using option chain premium to pay for losses with other stocks, and it would be stagnant for 2 weeks. I'm holding long. Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it, right? I mean, if you're short this stock or you're a market maker, you're really gonna try to keep us at bay until after August 20th, right? Because next Friday's where shit's really gonna get crazy. Um, if we are able to kind of kick things off and get a gamma squeeze going. Leo, what's up? Good morning. So unfortunately, guys, I am going to sign off now, and reason being is I want to really support Tar Heel, and he's doing the all day marathon thing, and so I'm gonna jump off while I finish getting ready for work, and so please, by all means, just jump over and jump on Tar Heel's channel right now. I'll be over there too. And yeah, that guy's going to be going all day. He's a machine. It's Tar Heel Blue. And if you're unfamiliar, I will actually put a link in the chat right now. It looks like he's got Foresight Capital on right now. There's the link to the actual video. So Tar Heel is going to keep going. And I'm going to jump on there as well. So thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully I'll see all you guys on his channel, and yeah, let's keep this day going strong. I'll be popping in and out of his channel all day. So whenever you're free, check out Tar Heel throughout the day today. It should be a lot of fun. All right, guys, see you later.